I've not heard the zombie story before. God, you guys want all my silly stories. Listen to the podcast. All right, so when I was, I'll just pause this. When I was in college, I was part of this group called like FAK. It was like FAK. It was like Fun Administration Association, something like that. It was like a funny acronym. And our job was to come up with fun events to do around the college. I was started by one of my friends. So as part of this organization, we came up with like, hey, let's do a Humans versus Zombies. Humans versus Zombies is an event where whoever participates, you start off with one zombie. They chase you around. You wear a headband if you're a zombie, an armband if you're a human. The goal is to tag you. The zombies tag you, and then you're infected for the whole event, right? So we picked our head zombie. We were all wearing our armbands. The head zombie, you could not, here are the rules though. You could not interrupt classes with it, and you could not go into somebody's dorm room as a zombie to infect them. Those were safe spaces. So hallways and parking lots, hallways in the dorms, not in the school, and parking lots were where you zombie attacked. And zombies would have a cooldown if they got shot with a Nerf gun. Zombies would have a cooldown if they got shot with like a Nerf gun. Basically so that you would have to wait for a respawn. So the gist of the story is I, on the first day, get tagged out by the alpha zombie. I'm the second zombie tagged, right? And I'm pissed because like I had my little airsoft gun contraption that I had built for the zombies that I was going to hit one of my friends with. And I was pissed off. I was mad. I did not want to be a zombie that early. So I devised a plan. My plan was I was going to start gathering zombies, and I was going to basically set up patrols for the zombies as a sort of like alpha zombie, even though I wasn't the alpha zombie. So I devised patrols, and we started just getting people left and right. Like there were about 80 to 100 people participating. The first day we wiped out half of them. Half of them were zombies. End of the first night. I'm walking through the hallways at like 8 to 9 p.m. because we have to stop playing by 11 on each of the 3 days. I'm walking through the hallways and I'm going, my wife, my now wife, did not date her at the time, is in her dorm room with two of her friends. And they're like hiding in the dorm room and they're like, shit, we got to go get vending machine snacks. So they send one of them out there, and I see my now wife, Shelby. She is outside of the hallway trying to get to the vending machine in the dorm room to get snacks. I scream, I go, whoa! And I like run really fast at her, and she goes, oh shit! And she like runs back into her dorm room, slams her hip up against the doorknob, gets inside. I go inside the room, I apologize. She got a big bruise on her hip because I scared the shit out of her. And then I like hung out with her for a little while there. The next like 2 days, incrementally, the zombie patrols I set up playing Humans versus Zombies wiped out the human population. The only people who survived were the people who cheated. There were a group of nerds who stayed in their dorm room all 3 days, didn't even go to their classes just because they wanted to win. They were playing it competitively. So like, oh, we just stay in the safe zone the whole time. They would order pizza and they wouldn't leave their room even to go to class. Imagine being competitive about that. So yeah, essentially I rose up as the zombie king because I was so fucking mad, and that's kind of how I like met my wife for the first time. I was pissed off. Do the scream again. I was doing that all through the hallways, scaring people. I mean, imagine hearing that at full volume in the hallway, and like the lights are out, and then just a 6'5" guy fucking screams and runs at you. He goes, and then I don't know, Shelby and I mean, when we first started dating, it was because I was, that was like a month before I think we first started dating. I was, trying to, and like, courting, I guess, this girl who I like got to a point where, and originally, like, back in college, I had a long distance relationship with my girlfriend from high school, and we broke up, because it wasn't working out, and we were just too different, after like a year of long distance, and it wasn't working, so we broke up. I had a small crush on Shelby because I had seen her like walking around the college. And I was like, she's really cute. She a cute lady. But I was trying to date this other girl, and it got to a point with this other girl where I was so hyper obsessed, where I was borderline like losing my mind. I was texting her in haiku, writing her poetry, buying her flowers and leaving them on her car. Like, I was doing everything that I could like think of. And she was like slightly interested, but she also was not over her ex. And it got to a point where like she didn't like Snapchat me in a day, and I started feeling sick. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm like this obsessed. I need to stop. So I like flushed my body of these vibes and feelings about her. In like a day, I realized I had like gone too far in my head about how much I had liked her. And so I'd like, no thank you. About a day or two later, after this like full flush, one of Shelby's friends is like, hey, today is Shelby's 21st birthday. She really likes you. She has a crush on you. You should hang out with her after she gets home from the bars. So Shelby gets like wasted at the bars, comes home. Rachel like sets us up. Her friend Rachel sets us up, and we just cuddle through the night. Shelby wakes up and it's like, mine. Points at me and says, mine. And then the next day, I literally move into her dorm with her, and I've lived with her for the last 10 years. It's like for me, I found the love of my life. For her, sometimes I wonder if it's just like, I found this weird dog that likes me. Me and my wife have lived together for the last 10 years. There's been, at no point in our whole relationship have we not lived together, because we're weirdos. Love her to death. She makes me a better person, and she also takes care of me when I'm in poop brain. So I wasn't wasted. Thank you and I didn't point and say mine, you weirdo. You totally did point and say mine. You did. Shelby's trying to make Shelby's trying to make herself seem like less of a weirdo. My wife is damage controlling in the chat. So